Well, friends, good to be here. And I think I'll start off by saying that I have some good news for you. And I have some bad news for you. This reminds me of a little story told to me by Sir Richard Attenborough when we were shooting the film Gandhi. And you know, the Gandhi film, I was playing, you probably know, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. And I faced a lot of, you could say, brickbats for having played that role. But one day after shooting, we were having drinks and so on, and Richard said, "Have you ever heard that story about the doctor who phoned up his patient?" I said, "No." He said, "Really, this is how it goes." Doctor phoned up his patient, and he said, "Mr. Shah, I've just had a look at your x-rays, and I have some good news for you, Mr. Shah, and I have some bad news for you. Which would you like to hear first?" So Mr. Shah said, "Oh, good news, bad news, good news. I'd like to hear the good news first, please, the good news, sir." "Well, the good news is, Mr. Shah, that after looking at your x-rays, I have to inform you that you have 24 hours to live." He said, "That's the good news, doctor. What's the bad news?" "The bad news, Mr. Shah, is I was supposed to phone you yesterday." Okay, what's the good news and the bad news about this country? The good news first. You realize that as we sit here at this moment, that 50% of the population of our wonderful country, 50% is under the age of 25. Imagine, a country, the youngest country in the world, one of the largest and the youngest. Wonderful good news. What's the bad news? The bad news is that 50% of our rulers, our netas, are over the age of 70. Imagine a country that is so young and has leaders who are absolutely clueless as to what the future is. My great guru, management guru, Peter Drucker, said, if you want to understand the future, you have to create it. Can you imagine 70-year-olds creating anything? Huh? That's what their wives also say. Yeah. All right, so I'm very happy to be speaking to you about leadership through innovation. So these are the slides. Are they on these little boards here? Is there one? No, I can read. Huh? No, that's all right. Don't worry. No, I'm not. No. I'm very well equipped. I've already instructed, so that's all right. Anyway, leadership through innovation. Now, all of you are either entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs. Am I right? Yes? Anyone here who's not an entrepreneur, raise your hands. There's the guard at the door raising his hand. Okay. But even he is an entrepreneur. I tell you, if you are an entrepreneur, the first thing you've got to learn about entrepreneurship is innovation. You cannot start with old ideas. Otherwise, don't start. Just do not start. If you want to do something, you have to be innovative. Just to give you an example, I work with a company called Emami in Calcutta. I'm their advertising marketing advisor. And for a long time, they were worried that they had no hold in the fairness market, you know. Fair and Lovely was the God brand, and you just could not make a dent in Fair and Lovely's a kind of brand ownership of the whole fairness market. So I said to them, why are you only looking at one aspect of it? That aspect is women like to be fair and lovely. Wonderful. I said, what about men? So everyone laughed and said, no, men don't want to be fair and lovely. I said, no, but maybe men want to be fair and handsome. And they again laughed. So I said, I'm serious. I said, put up a mirror in your office and get someone with a hidden camera, or just put a hidden camera. Anytime anyone stops in front of the mirror, photograph him or her. And you'd be surprised, at the end of a week, 90% of the men had stopped in front of the mirror to go, and only 80% of the women. I said, there you are. Men are as vain as women when it comes to their looks. So on the basis of that, I said, let's do a test launch, which we did. And it was amazing. Now, you entrepreneurs, listen carefully. Innovation. Innovation means doing something that other people have not done. And the innovation was a fairness cream for men called Fair and Handsome. And within 2 years, from zero, it was 100 crores. Today, after about 4.5 years, it is 200 crores. From where? From zero. No, from here. From here. And all of you have it, but maybe you don't think differently. You think in the same way as other people have thought. No good. Forget being an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur means that you are a person who's thinking differently from the people who are already in the marketplace. That is very, very important. Yeah? Now, one of the things about entrepreneurship is, let me just tell you about another entrepreneur who started in 1990. 1990, a gentleman came to see me. I was running Lintas, one of the largest agencies in the country. And he said, Mr. Padamsee, I'm starting an airline, and I wonder if Lintas will help me. I said, well, you know, what sort of budget do you have for spending? He said, oh, it's very small. But if you have faith in me, it will become very big. I said, oh, that's a nice way to start. So I said, what, do you have any experience? He said, yes, I've been a general sales manager for Air India. I said, that's a recommendation. Air India? So he said, no, I mean, I want to start it new. I want to do something different. Can you tell me how I can image my airline so that it's different from all the others? Now remember that time, and I'm going to 1990, there was East-West Airlines, there was Modi Luft, there was Damania, there were Indian Airlines, etc., etc. There were about 6 or 7 airlines. So I gave it some thought, and we came back to Mr. Naresh Goyal and said, the best way to position your airline so that people will see it differently is to treat it as a 5-star hotel in the sky. Inspire your people to create a 5-star hotel in the sky. The airline business is very much like the hotel business, really, basically. Because it's all to do with service, service, service. The way you treat your customer. That is why you'll get him and the other people won't. So, he started out, then he rang me after 2 weeks. He said, Mr. Padamsee, that's very kind of you, and I love the idea of the 5-star hotel in the sky, but how do I achieve it? I said, simple. You go to the Oberoi Hotel in Bombay, which had a very, very good trainer there at that time, and she is a lady who has trained all the hotel staff, and it's the best training you could get in how to handle customers, how to handle guests. And all you do is offer her 3 times the salary she's getting now. And then you will have a trainer who understands what service is. He did that, and the result was Jet Airways. Jet Airways was created on that simple idea. Of course, many years later, about 10 years later, our good friend Vijay Mallya decided he wanted to be a 7-star airline, and he set it off, and it was 7-star airline. It only lasted, what he forgot is 7 stars sometimes last only 7 years. And it went, right? But basically what I'm saying is ideas, innovation. But the thing about getting a team together, and that's very important. If you want to be a leader, it's not enough just to say, I have a grand personality and I have, hard work ability and all that. There are lots of things that a leader needs, but one of them certainly is innovation. A leader must innovate. If he doesn't innovate, he will not be able to lead. And the fact is that he must enthuse his team, not instruct them, not enforce them. Next slide, please. Slide, change. Oh, okay. Enthuse, don't enforce. Remember this. So you're all going to be entrepreneurs. You can't start a company single-handed. You will have to get a team, and the team must be enthused. They must feel this is something we want to do. This is what makes our blood race. This is what keeps us, energetic. Enthusiasm leads to energy. Energy, I can assure you, leads to success. All the leaders in the world who ever succeeded, they've done a survey. The first thing, not that they have vision, not that they have this, that and the other, but that they have energy. They're always on the move. They're never sitting still. They want to move. They want people to move with them. And they're always helping, enthusing people that this is the way we go, this is the way we go. You got to have energy. And that comes from enthusiasm. Okay? This is very important. And from that, you learn that you got to motivate people. It's not enough. You can't command people. People think you can, and Indira Gandhi thought she could during the emergency. You just have to say, do this, and if you don't do this, you go to jail. It works for a very short time. Hitler also did that. Famous Adolf Hitler of Germany. But it doesn't last long. But enthusiasm, or giving them something to believe in, and that is, next slide please, very important, is your vision statement is the trigger. Each of you is an entrepreneur are going to set up a company. Please understand you have to have a vision statement. And those who already set up companies without a vision statement, I would suggest you go back to the drawing board and write a vision statement so that everyone gets involved in the same objective. What is a vision statement? Let's take, who climbed Mount Everest? What's his name? Huh? Yeah, Edmund Hillary, right? And Edmund Hillary, after he climbed Mount Everest, was asked, well, sir, now that you've completed your vision in life, what else have you got left? He said, my vision was not just to climb Mount Everest. He said, oh, what was your vision, sir? And he said, my vision was to go where no man had ever been before. Think about it. That is an inspiring vision. So he said, what's your next mission? So he said, my next mission is to go to the center of the earth. I've been to the highest point on earth, now I want to go to the middle of the earth. And he was planning on that, but unfortunately he passed away. But that is a vision statement. I myself have written vision statements. I told you for Jet Airways it was to be the 5-star hotel in the sky. And if Mr. Goel so wants to, now that he's got the training and his staff, he could start hotels on the ground, airport hotels, with the same service you get in the sky. So you can move from the airlines to actually ground level. And because Jet Airways is famous for its service, people would come there. And then, this is the way you can actually multiply a single vision into a multiple vision. Please remember that. I wrote a vision statement for IIT Bombay. Anyone here from IIT Bombay? Okay. Some years ago, I'm on the advisory board of IIT Bombay, and there's a collection of very top people, top people. I'm talking about Mukesh Ambani, and I'm talking about Adi Godrej, and all the business leaders. And I said, I've read the vision statement of IIT Bombay, and it's rather dull. It doesn't inspire anyone. The vision statement read, we aim to be the leaders in science and technology education. I said that's what you are, but that's not a vision. A vision is where you want to aim at. So the chairman said, okay, Alec, why don't you write it? So I took a couple of weeks and I wrote the following. And it's somewhat different. It's the same, but it's different. And that's the difference. It makes it inspiring. I said, IIT Bombay aims to be the fountainhead of ideas and ideators. Not training students to become better students, but training the young people who enter our doors to become ideators in science and technology. So now that has been accepted as the vision statement. Another one was for Tata Steel. The chairman asked me, and I wrote the following. It was very simple, just a few words. I said, where Tata Steel goes, others follow. What Tata Steel does today, others do tomorrow. It tells you that obviously Tata Steel is doing new things. But I could have said Tata Steel aims to do new things. Not very inspiring, is it? Yeah? Huh? Right? So in this way, all you entrepreneurs, your budding entrepreneurs, remember that. Nike, one of the biggest companies in the world, valued at, I forget, $50 billion. I don't know how many of you know Nike has no factories. No factories. It has no machinery. All Nike, it's a virtual company. And think about this being an entrepreneur. One, it has a design studio that designs the shoes. Two, it has a buying unit which goes and finds out people who can manufacture according to Nike standards. Quality control is very important. And the third thing, it has marketing and advertising. That's it. They say that the value of what Nike owns would be valued at about, I don't know, about $20, $30 million. But the value on the market value of Nike, if you wanted to buy it, is $50 billion. And yet they have nothing that you know, bricks and mortars. They say bricks and mortar is the thing you want to buy. It has next to nothing in bricks and mortar. Has a few offices, has some sales offices, has sales companies, but most of it is rented. But they've created such a fantastic image, and you all know the Nike swoop, what's called the swoop, is the tick mark, but created in a different way, and that's all you have on the shops. That's all you have on the collars and the sleeves of tennis players, footballers, just the swoop. And it's become so valuable, it's valued at $50 billion. So what I'm saying is, for all of you here, you have an opportunity to do this. Who's another entrepreneur? Let's see. Indian. Yes, there was a young man who created a company, a brand, and Bill Gates bought him out for $450 million. Yes, sir? Yeah, Sabir Bhatia. But any one of you could have done that. All he was giving was free IDs, right, on the net. Yeah? Domain names. Free of charge. People said, Sabir is an idiot. It's free of charge. What's the point? First year he got $1 million. Second year he got 10 million. Third year, Bill Gates, at that time the richest man in the world, said, I'd like to buy Hotmail for $450 million. Right? Now, which of us can think even of earning $450 million in one swoop? But he did it. And the reason he did it is that he used his brain not for storage of data, which you can get on Google. I said to the government of India the other day at a seminar, I said, why is the education system still the same post-Google? Because Google says, what information do you want? I want to know what is the capital of Iceland. Thak, Reykjavik. Why should you carry all that information in your brain, cluttering up your brain? God gave you a brain to create new things, not to remember old things. And today you don't need textbooks, you don't need libraries. It's all on Google and Wikipedia. So what I'm saying to you, young people, is that the world has changed. Don't think like our netas, who can only think, now when's the next election? Can I win the next election? And if I win, for 5 years, my hands will be full. And you know what they'll be full of? Yeah? So what I'm saying is that the world is changing, but the older generation pays lip service but doesn't do anything about it. Education in this country is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Go into a classroom, there's the teacher, he's reading out from a textbook which you already have. Huh? And then I've always said, and I used to do it in my college, at that time, tape recorders were pretty new. So I just switch on the tape recorder, tape the whole lecture. The exam time, I felt that all I had to do was to go back to the examination hall, switch, rewind, and play, and that was it. I get 100 out of 100. All it is tape recorder education. It's absurd. When the human mind is such a wonderful thing that constantly is sparking and creating new ideas, starting with the caveman who invented fire and the wheel, coming later on to Isaac Newton who invented gravity, or at least discovered gravity, right? It's that kind of observation and insight that you all should be developing if you want to be successful as an entrepreneur. Now, the vision statement, as I said, is very important. Gandhiji had a vision statement. Can anyone tell me what his vision statement was? Anyone, please? Anyone? Yeah? Tell me. No one? The father of the nation?
Be the change that you want to see.
Yes, but I say it with a in front of it. I want one without a in front of it. Huh? Okay? Something that everyone says, that's true. Come on. You're all supposed to be thinkers. What was Gandhiji's biggest vision statement that combined the whole of India into a team? Huh? I can't hear you louder. Non-violence. I wish it was. Swadeshi, I wish it was. Huh? What? Sorry, one person. The means will follow. Yes, sir? Thank you for paraphrasing Tata Steel. Basically what it was, next slide please. 2 words. Every Indian wanted the British to get out. And that is what brought the whole nation together. Ahimsa was great, everything, it was wonderful things he did. But that is not what combined the nation. It was a simple 2 words, quit India. And suddenly we were all a nation. Before that, we were a collection of states and religions and castes and all sorts of things. But every Indian wanted the British to quit India, and finally he succeeded. And what was the vision statement for, let's take a foreigner, John F. Kennedy, known as JFK for short. What was the Kennedy's vision statement? Yes, sir.
Ask what the nation has done for you. Ask yourself what have you done.
Right. Give him a big hand. Very good. Ask not what your country can do for you. Rather, ask what you can do for your country. Now, this was a fantastic, because it broke all the rules. It said, we elect a government to do things for us. But he was saying, the government wants you to do things for the country, not just for yourself. And on that grounds, he invented the Peace Corps. I don't know how many of you know about the Peace Corps, C-O-R-P-S, the Peace Corps, where he sent young people, volunteer, to different countries to teach them technology. Hundreds, thousands came to India, at that time, taught farmers new methods of farming. One of the things about the Green Revolution was, in fact, the Peace Corps brought a lot of very interesting agricultural ideas and technology. And that's how we got self-sufficiency in food. But the interesting thing about Kennedy, and this is very important for all of you to know, if you're entrepreneurs, that as you build a team, someone asked him, Mr. Kennedy, you are the most powerful man in the world because you run America. He said, 1 minute. I do not run America. said, sir, you're the president? You run America? I said, no. I run the cabinet, and the cabinet runs America. And unless you can motivate your team under you, the leaders of your team in different sections, you will never succeed. One man cannot run anything that's larger than 10 people. You have to rely and select the right people to work with you and then give them responsibilities and a vision and say, now try and fulfill that vision. So he said, I run the people who run America, which is a very important distinction. It's quite different from what you normally think. Okay, what about another gentleman who has recently made a lot of news? And what is the one vision statement that he had that galvanized the whole of India together? Anna Hazare. What was his? India against corruption. Do we all agree? All those who agree that Anna Hazare hit upon the very center of our dissatisfaction with this country. It's a wonderful country, wonderful people, but there's one thing that spoils everything, and that is corruption. So all those who are in favor of Anna Hazare's India against corruption, raise your hands. Good. All right. All those who think he's talking rubbish, raise your hands. Can't see any. Maybe my lenses need changing or something. Good. That means, in other words, if you get something that binds people together and they have a common cause, that is a good vision statement. Yeah? It's very, very important. Now, what other common lack? Corruption, honesty, in other words, is the positive, and corruption is the opposite. What else in India do you think all of us feel in this room and across the country? What other lack is there? Infrastructure. No, that's a thing. No, what kind of behavior should we have that will change the whole of India? Yes, sir. I can't hear you louder. The principle? The responsible citizen. Yes, yes. Can you sum it up in another? Yes, yes, sir. Ma'am, yes. Just activism. Activism, yes. Activism, yes, yes. What do we all find about going to any of you who are traveling about, when you go to get a passport? Any of you try to get a passport in this country? Yeah? Red tape, yeah. And one of it comes from corruption, right? You've got to pay under the counter. But what is the other thing, even when you pay? Why is it that even if we get rid of corruption, we still will be a backward nation? Why? Huh?
Speed.
Compromising, sort of. Yes, anyone else?
Speed, efficiency.
1 minute, one person, please. Yes? Bureaucratic hurdles. Is it hurdles or is it something else? I'll give you a quote from a certain gentleman who appeared on TV last year. And yes, sir. Procrastination coming out of apathy. Yeah, not indifference. No. Yes, someone said it. Inefficiency. The country is suffering not only from corruption, because even if you pay, it is still inefficiency that you're paying for. It doesn't happen. In Indonesia, they call it speed money. But they actually do it faster. Here you can pay, Here you can pay, and it's still bullock cart, you know. So there are things in this country that we really need to look at, seriously. Now, I'll tell you that I was very fortunate to inherit an advertising agency. I became the CEO. And I decided that the agency was slow, inefficient, not on the ball. How was I going to get people together and make it a kind of dynamic, high-energy agency? And the first thing I thought, I would say, everyone who's late, doesn't attend office on time at 9:30, will get penalized. We'll have a fine system. Huh? And, or we'll deduct 1 day of your leave or something like that. Then I thought, no, this will only get people resentful. They'll all say, oh, horrible man, Hitler, Salah. What other way is there? And then I thought of this, it starts at the top. So I had a management committee of about 10 people who ran the company, the board of directors. And they were always late. Every Monday morning we had a management committee meeting at 9:30 in the morning. I would be there at 9:30. Someone would come at 9:35, someone would come at 9:40, 9:45, someone would come at 10 o'clock. And I kept saying, look guys, we are the board of directors, we should be setting a good example. Yes, but you know, Alec, it was so difficult. You know, the traffic is so bad, and oh, you know, and my wife, you know, feels that I should go and buy the tomatoes before I come to office, and and things like that. The most ridiculous excuses. So the next week, what I did was, again, this is motivation. Motivation without without force, without using motivation with a smile. So I put on the table, the boardroom table, a bottle, a jar, a burnie, and on it was a picture of Mother Teresa. So the first guy who came in, I said, Prem, you're 5 minutes late. He said, yeah, what to do, you know, I just got delayed, I mean, I couldn't find parking space. I said, okay. Look, he said, what's that Mother Teresa bottle? I said, look, Mother Teresa needs funds, right? We all agree. So let's decide that, you know, for every minute late, we, you know, put a donation to Mother Teresa of 10 rupees. You're 5 minutes late, so 50 rupees for Mother Teresa? He said, oh, yes, of course, 50 rupees, put it in. Next guy came in. His name was Pranesh. And instead of me saying anything, Prem jumped up and said, Pranesh, you're 10 minutes late. You owe Mother Teresa 100 rupees, put it in the bottle. And this went on, you know, and some people came really late, I mean, 300 rupees and so on. So eventually, without forcing, enthuse, don't enforce, people began to come on time. And the fact was that we were able to make a reasonable donation to Mother Teresa. And everyone felt very happy. Nobody was saying, oh, you know, Hitler, this, that, and that. They were saying, wonderful, what a good idea. Mother Teresa has gained, and now we don't want to donate anymore, so we better be on time. And that basically is to try and say that, listen, all of you, try and create not a company. I don't know what a company is, frankly. I know what a family is. I come from a family of 8 children. So I know what a family is. So I said, can we have the vision statement that Lintas, the advertising agency, will be a family of professionals, people who are determined to do what they promise to do. They never talk about promises, they talk about commitments. That is what a professional does. And gradually, the whole company, and everyone was called by their first name, including me. I was the managing director, but I told even trainees, you can call me Alec, but if you find that a little difficult, some people say, I said, you can call me AP, which is my nickname, AP, Alec Padamsi. I said, but anyone who calls me sir, will get a very nasty look from me like this. Okay? So, I said, please, let's all be on very friendly terms, but we are still professionals, and whatever job we decide we're going to do or we're asked to do, we do it to the best of our ability. We never shirk. We never say, magar kal dekhenge, and all this, you know, chalta hai, no chalta hai. We work hard, and then, all right, you say, but what about the rewards? The rewards. Now, I thought about, again, this is innovation, leadership through innovation. I said innovation. Now, bonuses are nice, but you know, bonuses after the second or third year become like, So what? I got a bonus. Yeah, everybody got a bonus. Great. But what can we do that makes bonuses very personal and makes bonuses very family? So I said, why don't we, I said to the management committee, the board of directors, this Diwali, instead of a bonus, we are going to give every employee, from the managing director to the peon, a gift, a Diwali gift to his family, not to him. The first year we gave, I think it was a microwave oven. So suddenly on Diwali, at home, became a microwave with a little card saying, this is a gift from Lintas. And the wives and the children were so happy. Next year we gave a refrigerator. Third year we gave an air conditioner. Fourth year we gave a sound system, a whole, what they call theatre, home theatre. And the beauty of that was that people began to feel that Lintas was not just a company, that was part of their family. And when visitors came to an employee's home, and someone said, the wives usually, Are, Prema, ये नया fridge कहाँ से आया? She said, company ने दिया. हाँ, वो ठीक है. मगर ये देखो, ये माइक्रोवेव, वहाँ वो कहाँ से? कंपनी ने दिया. अच्छा, आपकी बेडरूम भी हम देखा था. एयर कंडीशनर कहाँ से आया? कंपनी ने दिया. Gradually word went round that Lintas was a very human company. And the best thing was, I remember one day I was sitting in my office and I was interviewing one of the people who wanted to be one of the creative top guns in Lintas. I said, fine, your work is very good. I said, I've asked you all the questions, anything you want to ask me? He said, sir, I have only one question. I said, what's that? He said, sir, what gift are we getting this Diwali? It had spread around, believe you me, recruitment became terrific, and what was even better was that attrition, that is people leaving, dropped drastically. It was a simple idea. I'm not saying that it was, but it was human. It made people feel the company was not a company, it was a family. And another thing that we did, which was to stop attrition. And in the advertising business, attrition can go from 20% to 30% to 50% in a year. You might lose 50% of your staff because everyone very greedy and they're offering better bonuses, better positions, etc., etc. So I said we must do something. I sat with my finance director. We came up with a very simple idea. It's called the CBS, yeah, and it is the continuing bonus scheme. What does it mean? It means that if you do a good year's work, and it's good, it's really good, you get an A, and with the A comes a increment or a lump sum of 1,00,000 rupees, right? And someone else does even better and he gets, say, let's suppose, he gets 3,00,000 rupees as a kind of reward, incentive reward. But what we said was, we will pay, if you get 3,00,000 rupees, in the first year, this year, the year you've accomplished, you will get the 1,00,000. If you're still with the company next year, you will get the second lakh. And if you're still with the company the year after that, you'll get the third lakh. So I said, oh, yeah, but I get 3,00,000 altogether. Yes. So what happens is, people began to say, it's wonderful. Last year, I earned 3,00,000 bonus, increment. And now this year again, luckily, I've done very well, I've earned another 3,00,000. But at the end of the year, instead of getting 1,00,000 out of the 3, I got 2,00,000 because last year's is added to this year's. And as time went on, people were beginning to get bonuses which they'd earned in previous years of 5,00,000 and 10,00,000 in that year. This had an object of holding people in the company. Now these are things that anyone can do. Continuing bonus scheme. Simple. But it was very important. And the other one, which I think was very amusing, and in our first year, Lintas was a loss-making company when I joined. I became CEO. And in the first year, we just earned a profit of 5 lakhs of rupees, very small. And we sat around the table and said, what should we do? Someone said, well, why don't we have a big party for all our people and also all our clients, and everyone will be so happy and this and that. Someone else said, no, let us all get new desks. That'll be nice. And so on, many ideas. And I had lunch that afternoon at the Oberoi Hotel, which is opposite Express Towers, where Lintas is situated. And I'd just been to the loo there, the toilet. And I came out and said, what a fantastic feeling. The Oberoi is a nice hotel, and it's selling. But the loos, the bathrooms are so splendid. They're like an emperor's bathroom, literally. So wonderful the way they tile, the mirrors, the lighting, the this, the that, the other. Even the toilet rolls, you just, in those days they had toilet rolls where you just pressed a button and it unrolled, hands-free. And I said, this is wonderful. Why don't we put in a 5-star loo for the men and a 5-star loo for the women? That'll come to about 5 lakhs. So I said, a 5-star loo? Who needs a 5-star loo? I said, wait a minute. Every employee at some point in the day has to use the loo. Am I right? So look at the thrill they get. They go in there and they say, wow, now this is living, The best bonus of that was that the next day, after we had a proper muhurat. Yeah, breaking coconut and everything. And the day after that, the loo was, now established. I got out of the lift and I saw a big queue. The loo was not of the employees. I saw a long queue and I went to my secretary. I said, who are these people? I don't know a single one of them. I said, sir, they are the relatives of our employees. I said, what are they doing here? Sir, they've heard about our 5-star loo. They've all come to see with their own eyes. I said, wonderful. That gave me an idea. I phoned up my chief client, chairman of Hindustan Lever, and I said, if you have some time this week, I'd like you to come over to Lintas because, it's a little difficult. The presentation we're going to make on Literal is, got a lot of charts and this, and to bring it all there, if you come here, it'll be so much easier. I said, okay, I'll come next Thursday at 2 o'clock. I told my boys, I said, look, whatever you do, keep the meeting going for at least 2 hours. So sure enough, he came at 2. I was watching him carefully. I wasn't paying any attention to the presentation. And precisely at 3:15, which was an hour and 15 minutes since he'd come, he whispered to me, Alec, I need to go to the toilet. I said, if you just go out on the lift landing and on your left, the toilet is there. So he went out. We all waited. We waited. 1 minute passed, 2 minutes passed. The third minute, he came back. He opened the door of my room where the meeting was. He said, my God. I said, Alec, you all are doing so well. I've just been to your toilet. You have a 5-star toilet. Lintas must be doing very, very well to have even a 5-star toilet. Little did he know we had nothing else. So word went around the town that Lintas was doing extremely well. They had a 5-star toilet and people actually came to see it. They couldn't believe it. And eventually, one good thing leads to another, and a lot of clients said, hey, they must be doing very well. That means they're successful, which means they will make our brand successful also. So that was a wonderful way to get off and to use. Now this stage, I will just switch over to the visual medium. I'm a great believer that the left brain, which is the brain for rational thought, right? Everyone knows that. And the right brain is supposed to be for creative or emotional thought. I'm a great believer that the eyes are, when they see something, it can translate into a very motivational feeling in anyone. It motivates. The eye has emotion, and words appeal to reason, right? You say someone, you are a fool. All right, he gets insulted, but you made your point. And you say to someone else, just come here a minute, and you take a dunce cap and put it on his head. You don't say anything, right? You know what a dunce cap is? Does anyone know? Do you have any dunce cap? Yeah. So basically visuals speak in emotions. I'm going to show you a few films, but each of them has a motivation behind it, and they're all on, someone said it, we don't have a civic sense. We are not good citizens in the sense that we don't, Now here are a few films. Each of them is no more than 30 seconds long. That's all. Just like an ad film. 30 seconds, no more. But they are to motivate people to do things that they normally would not do. And the worst thing, as I told the government of India, your campaigns are spending crores of rupees on family planning and drunk driving and this and that. But why do you always lecture people, don't do this and don't do that and don't do the other? Why can't you motivate them? And I sent them this reel, and there was very great interest in it. So I'm going to show you now. Is this the screen on which you're going to see the films? No, the big one. Oh, thank God. Oh, hey, I didn't notice that. Shows how observant I am, right? Just behind me. Okay. So I'm going to show you a number of films, and I'll just tell you one line about each film as we show it. And what was the key reason we made the film? If you can give me a hand to come down, I'd be most grateful. Thank you, sir. Let's take my weight. Yeah. Thank you. That's a little. Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is to see whether you will be motivated at things like, who's a young man here? You look like a young man, huh? You don't? Yeah. Do you ride a motorbike?
Yes, sir.
You do?
Yes, sir.
Then one of these films will definitely, I hope, appeal to you. Yeah? So, do you ever eat food off the road? Bhel puri, jo kuch bhi ho, huh? Achha, good. Then one of these films will definitely appeal to you. So, in its own way, each of these films will be appealing to each one of you, because they're made about common human behavior, and particularly in our country where we need to motivate people for their own benefit. For their own benefit, believe it or not. But it's very difficult. We all know this is a wonderful country, but the wonder of this country is that we are all different. Not only in our families are we different, outside, then we are different castes, we're different religions, we're different states, we're different languages, we're different. Can we really appreciate that and call ourselves Indians? And I was asked by the government of India, can you motivate people to forget about communalism and become a country together? And I said yes. He said, well, make a documentary about 20. I said, no, sorry. I'll make a film of 30 seconds. I said, Mr. Padamsi, what are you talking about? You can't motivate people to be, non-communal and integrated, what we call national integration, in 30 seconds. So I said, well, we'll try. Let's see what happens. So the first film that I'm going to show you is on national integration. It's a very simple film. And another thing you must learn, that communication, effective communication, if you have the right motivation, then you will find, and you can say it in a very short sentence, that works better than a documentary of 20 minutes or half an hour And we've all, I mean, the older generation here knows how we sat and groaned through films division documentaries before we saw any movie, So I told films division one day, for those who remember them, films division and the documentaries. Do you, sir? Did you ever see a films division documentary when you went to movies?
Yeah.
You did? Yeah? Okay. And you know how it was. So I said to the government of India at one meeting, I said, you are talking about cigarettes cause cancer, but you are encouraging smoking. What do you mean, Mr. Valanci? We don't encourage smoking. I said, but when you show your Sahi baat hai ki nahi? Huh? All right. So now if we can have the lights down, is that possible to take the lights down, sir? Who's in charge of techno? If we can have the lights a little, yeah, that's great, that's great. Yeah, these also if you can, okay? Right, wonderful, okay. And the sound, I hope, is at the right level. Start the film, please. Sound up, sound.
Will he grow up
Can you
as
up
a
the
Hindu,
sound, please?
or a Muslim, or a Sikh, or a Christian? Or will he grow up as an Indian? Will he grow up as a Hindu, or a Muslim, or a Sikh, or a Christian? Or will he grow up as an Indian? Remember, it's up to you.
Okay, the next one is on the famous slogan that a lot of you have grown up with, and that is, Ek ya do bus, right? And that sounds like a bus conductor saying, Ek ya do bus. Okay. Sorry, the next one, I got in the wrong order. Have you jumped one film? Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, let's say Gandhiji. Gandhiji. No, what is this? Why you put on the slide? Take off that slide. Hello? I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. All right. Family planning.
एक या दो बस
It's amazing how symbols can very often affect you if they're in the right, they're the right relevance. We showed this in villages in UP. We tested it out because the Family Planning Foundation said, Mr. Padamsi, what are you doing? You're only sending up the sales of tomato juice. So I said, okay, let's check it out, and we did check it out. And it was amazing, the men in the audience said, what is this film? He says, yes, I know Ek Ya Do Bas, it's about family planning. But what does it tell you? He said, that our children will get damaged if we have too many children. I said, very good. And in what way will they be damaged? And they said, we will not give them enough shelter, we will not give them enough food, we will not give them enough education. And we asked the women. And the women said, we will not give them enough love. We will not be able to look after them when they are sick. Too many children, how will we look after so many? So it was true that people think, sophisticated people often think that the people in, our kisans and their families don't understand. They understand symbols very well indeed. So that was family planning. Okay. The next one is, in fact, I'm happy to announce, it is on Gandhi. And it is something that we don't actually realize what was the great strength of Gandhi. Let's see if this film tells us what was his great strength. Yes, please, next film. Lights off, yeah.
The greatness of this man was his simplicity. Let's try and discover the Gandhi in ourselves.
Yeah, that symbol that you saw there of Gandhiji, just in 2 lines, a very simple, the drawing of Gandhi, you can tell is Gandhi just in 2 lines. The idea is, in other words, that Gandhiji said things very simply, he did things very simply. He went on the Dandi salt march, as you all must have read in your history books, and all he did was pick up a muthi, a fistful of salt. But the fact that he started from the Sabarmati ashram in Gujarat, and he walked and walked and walked, and as he walked, word spread through the villages, through the towns, and people began to follow him. By the time he reached the shores of Dandi and picked up and was arrested for picking up salt, which is forbidden by the British government, he already had a national following. Simple things, you know. He invented, by the way, the fast unto death. And I always ask myself, why didn't he, if he wanted to die for freedom, why didn't he just, take some poison and die? Why didn't he, buy a revolver and, shoot himself? Then I realized the magic of Gandhiji as a communicator. He said, if I do that, it'll be a big explosion across India for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, maybe a month, and then people will forget. So he said, I will do a fast unto death and announce it. And as the days went on and Gandhiji grew weaker and weaker, just as Anna Hazare did, and you might say emotionally blackmailed the government, similarly Gandhi did with the British government, and then word spread not only in India but around the world that the father of Indian freedom was going to die, and the British were so callous they would let him die. And by that time there was a whole national feeling that we can't allow Gandhiji to die, and he's dying for us and our freedom. But it took, up to, they stopped the fast, I think they gave in on the 30th day. But see that, he said, I want to die for freedom, but look at the method he chose. He knew that without the media, he didn't have media, he had no press, they was not allowed to mention Gandhi's name in the press or on radio. But word of mouth traveled across India over the period of 30 days that he fasted and almost died. I'm just saying he used simple things, but they were effective. And that's what you should remember, simple but effective. Okay, now for the young people in the audience who ride two-wheelers. And I know the Commissioner of Police asked me to make this film, and he said, please tell all the young people in Bombay City that they must wear helmets. Mr. Valansi, you're the person who can do that. I said, yes, but I will not say that. He said, what will you say? I said, I will leave it to them. You leave it to them, to young people? What do young people understand? I said, well, let me make the film, then we'll see if they understand. Next film is on helmets, right? For two-wheelers, motorcycles. Okay, film please.
It's your choice. After all, it's your head.
Why lecture to people just show them what the alternative is, and people are not so stupid. But you say, you must wear a motorcycle, you must wear a helmet, you must wear a helmet. Yes, and more lecture bazi kyun? Huh? But this way, they make up their own. Huh? It's your choice, after all. It's your head. Okay. The next one is on trees. Now, cutting of trees in India is almost, you might say, become a pastime. You're building a big, huge skyscraper. You just ruthlessly cut down trees. But what are trees? Why are people so excited about trees? Why shouldn't we cut them down? Let's see. Next film, please. Okay, the next one is on disabled children. This was made for the year of children who are disabled. There was a year declared, the year of disabled children. And one of the things that we analyzed, that pity. Everyone has heard this sound? Bichara. It's one of the most cruel sounds in the world. We think we are expressing pity, but what we're expressing is, what a pity you are disabled or you have only one leg. Thank God I have two. That's really the reverse of that. So this film tries to say it's not pity, it's something else. Now let's see what it is. Okay, next film please.
This is my daddy. This is my mummy. And this is me. No. This is me.
The disabled don't need your pity. They need your help.
Right? They don't need your pity. They don't need your pity. They need your help. And the last one here is for all those who are so fond of eating roadside bhel puri or having ganna ras, ganna juice. Beware. But we don't want to tell people don't drink it. It's up to people. We are all intelligent, adult human beings. We understand. Just give us a choice and we will make our choice. But don't instruct us. Okay? So let's have the last film on this reel. Yes.
For only ₹1 a glass, you can buy dysentery, jaundice, typhoid, cholera.
For only ₹1 a glass, you can buy all those wonderful things, yeah? So what I want to say really on the whole is that yes, it's very important if you're starting your own business, if you're an entrepreneur, is to decide what you want to be an entrepreneur about, and then just see that you have some innovation and something is there which nobody else is offering the public. As I said at the beginning, for instance, that men are as vain as women and therefore fair and handsome. And things like that, that make the public think, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe I think I'll buy this person's product because it's unusual, it's different, and above all, it'll help me. And I tell you that motorcycle helmet film has helped thousands and thousands of Bombay youngsters that saved their lives, literally. But if we had told them, you must wear a helmet, we'll put you in jail if you don't wear a helmet, etc., etc., it would have not been half as effective, okay? So that's the whole point of the story. And let me just end off by saying that, thanks. Let me just hold your hand steady. Yeah. Let me just end off by saying that I go back to Richard Attenborough. He told me a very interesting story about an actor, and this is what I want you to do is to remember. I told you that it is not memory we are interested in, but to remember certain things that are useful in life, and I told you innovation and leadership, those are the things that will help each and every one of you. So this is a story in remembering. There was an actor in New York. His name was Shankar. And Shankar couldn't get a job as an actor. He just could not get a job as an actor. He tried and tried, but nobody would give him a job. So he went to his agent. You know, in New York they have agents to get you jobs as actors. And he said, Harry, what is this, Harry? 2 years I've never had a single acting job. So Harry said, listen, Shankar, you know why? Because the last time I got you a job as an actor, you said the wrong lines at the wrong time. And the audience, it was a tragedy, and you made it into a comedy. We don't need that kind of actor. He said, no, Harry, this time I'll concentrate. I will say the right line at the right time. Don't worry about it. Get me a job. Harry, you're my friend. You're my friend. You're not going to get me a job, huh? Look, all my countrymen are starving in India, and I can help them by earning some money and giving it to charity. I'll give it to Mother Teresa. So Harry said, okay, Shankar, I'll think about it. Just stay by your phone. So Shankar went back, went to sleep, got up the next morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, sitting by the phone, it didn't ring. Missed his breakfast, still sitting by the phone, didn't ring. Missed his lunch, still the phone didn't ring. Missed his tea, didn't ring. Missed his dinner, didn't ring. He said, hey, Sala, ye, Harry, Barry, kaun hai ye? Dost hai kya? He's not going to do anything for me. He went to sleep, got up the next morning, had a lovely breakfast, got up late, had a lovely lunch, was enjoying his tea. Suddenly the phone rang. He ran to the phone. Oh, who's it? It's Harry. Oh, Harry, what? Tell me. He says, listen, Shankar, I managed to get a job for you as an actor, right? Okay. So wonderful, Harry. What is it? He says, look, an actor at the Broadway theater was rehearsing a play, and in the rehearsal, he fell off the stage and broke his leg. So they wanted a replacement. Can you get here in 20 minutes? He said, of course I can get here in 20 minutes. No problem about it. Oh, I will get there in 20 minutes. But what is the play? The play is a Shakespeare play, and the dialogue is only one line. Harry, please remember it and write it down. No. Harry, please. Shankar, write it down. Harry, I can remember one line. I will rehearse it on the way in the taxi. Don't worry. Tell me the line. What is the line? It says, the line is, hark, meaning in Shakespeare, means listen. Hark. Is that a cannon, big gun? Is that a cannon I hear? Shakespeare. Hark, is that a cannon? You got it? Write it down. No, I won't write it down. I'll just keep on rehearsing all the time. Don't worry. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Slams down the phone, starts getting dressed. Hark, is that a cannon I hear? 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 Runs down the stairs. Hark, is that a cannon I hear? Hark. Taxi! Taxi comes up and says, take me to the Broadway theater and make it snappy. Hark, is that a cannon I hear? Hark, is that a cannon I hear? No. I've got to do something different. One chance after 2 years. One chance. I've got to do something that everyone will remember. And they say, that Shankar, his name should be in lights. But with one line, I've got to do it differently. How will I do it? Yes, I know. I'll do it as the greatest Shakespearean actor of all time. Sir Laurence Olivier, the great British actor who died some years ago. I'll do it like that, in the Shakespearean style. Now let me see, Hark! Is that a cannon I hear? No, that sounds like a police siren. No. Nahi chale. What else can I do? Yeah. I'll do it like Marlon Brando, the famous modern actor, the actor who won all the Academy Awards. Yes, the American actor. Marlon Brando. Yes. And Marlon Brando was famous for the mumbling school of acting, where whatever he said, nobody understood anything, but he was the greatest actor. So I'll do it like Marlon Brando. Yes. Let me see. Yes. Hark! Is that I hear? No, nobody will understand anything. That's no good. That's no good. What is very popular today in New York? What is something that everyone will notice? If I do it that way, they'll notice it, they'll write about it, they'll talk about it. Okay. Next week is the gay parade. The gay parade in New York is very famous, huh? Where all the gay people come out in their fancy costume and have a parade in New York. I'll do it as a gay. Let me see how I'll do that. Yes. Is that a cannon I hear? No. By that time the taxi came to the theater, he threw the money at the driver, rushed him, they said, Shankar, you're late, get into your costume quickly. He's getting into his costume, Hark, is that a cannon I hear? Hark, is that, putting on his cloak, Hark, is that a cannon I hear? Putting on his hat, Hark, is that a cannon I hear? Putting on his makeup, Hark, is that a cannon I hear? Hark, is that a cannon I hear? There's no time, Shankar, you're wanted on stage, and they throw him on the stage. Staggers onto the stage, and a big noise, boom, and a big black cannonball whistles over his head. What the hell was that? Well, thank you very much. I hope you got something out of this evening, and God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.